When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lucas Oil Raceway Park. The TNT PM-18 All Oval Series is getting ready for a pretty epic night of racing here. Doubleheader number 2 coming up here. We're going to see two 25-minute races, and it is going to be absolutely epic here because race number 2 will feature a full field invert. You heard that right. Whoever wins the first one of these is going to have to start from the back of race number 2 here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, located in Brownsburg, Indiana. 0.686 miles, 12 degrees of banking, racing facility. Originally opened in 1960. This is round number 5 of the TNT PM-18 All Oval Series presented by Carolina Sinworks. Race distance total of 50 minutes, pair of 25-minute races. Cautions controlled by iRacing. Restart single file. Lap cars will head to the back. Tell you a little bit real quick about the machinery running here tonight. Manufactured by Tatus. These are Mazda 2-liter engines, making 275 horsepower. Electronics by Cosworth. You got all the details up there on the screen. These cars are going to be a lot of fun to watch rip around here tonight. Perhaps the biggest thing to keep in mind, however, is the pit strategy. In talking to some of the drivers pre-race, we're hearing anywhere from 60 to 70 laps, kind of going to be an absolute maximum on what you can make a fuel run here. No backup cars, and you're going to lose at least a lap if you have to make a green flag pit stop. But we are absolutely in for a show here this evening. Get you the starting grid for race number 1 here tonight. Jason Owens and Wes Shire will make up the front row for this first race. James Curtis, Jake Guerreri on row number 2. Matt Glida, Cullen Johnston on row number 3. Simon Fell and James Watson, row number 4. Kevin Smalley and Timothy Watson on row 5. Bill Walker, Mike Gosler on row 6. Gary DeMoss and Rick Cleary in row number 7. Row 8 will have Mike Barry and Corey Cleary. And looks like potentially here, tough break for Kevin Smalley. he will not be on the grid for this race. We can get you a look here at Jason Owens piloting the number 87 Extra Life Riley Children's Hospital entries. They make their way here on lap number 2, getting the tires all warmed up. Jason on the Pizza at the Pagoda podcast that we released earlier today. Make sure you check that one out. Our buddy Ziggy, the DOS Archiving Ohio Dirt Track Racing, as I wish I could join tonight. I love IRP. Man, we love it too, man. Absolutely fantastic racing. Hopefully we get the same shows tonight as we saw just the other day here for the real world cars for the PM-18s. Off of turn number 4. Green flag goes to the air. We're underway here in feature race number 1. It says heat race at the top of your screen, but this is feature race number 1. Big move by Wes Shire to the outside. He'll grab the early lead off at 2. Jason Owens going to have to fight here with James Curtis. One of the things about Lucas Oil Raceway Park, it can be very high line dependent. We'll see how that progresses as the night goes on here, but they'll get all the way up against the outside wall. In fact, looks like Cullen Johnston doing a little bit of wall riding through turns 1 and 2. He's going to have Timothy Watson to his inside. Watson able to make that low groove work. Just up ahead of him here into turn number 1, going to be James Watson to the outside of Jake Ferrari. He'll get the pass completed with relative ease off the corner. Looking back to the front here, how about Wes Shire? Long gone. The question is now, is everybody else in fuel save mode? Based on what we talked to some of the drivers ahead of time, a full fuel run is 22 minutes. You will have to do massive amounts of fuel saving if you hope to make it to the end. However, here's where the game comes into play. If you run out of fuel late in this race, that means you're going to start towards the front in race number 2. Oh, trouble towards the back of the pack. Caution flag going to come out. Gary DeMoss, Corey Cleary going to be involved in this one. Field will be slowed by caution for the first time here tonight. Let's head towards the back of the field, get you Hot Shoe Raceware instant replay. There's Gary DeMoss in the 34 machine. Oh, just a little bit of a self-spin off at turn number 2. So easy to get the car looped around, and unfortunately, Corey Cleary, the innocent bystander in that one. There we can, we'll get you a good look out of here. Corey Cleary running without a front wing currently. Probably going to be a meatball flag. Here's Kevin Smalley, able to get into the server, but man, that was absolutely tight there. Smalley may have actually elected to start from pit road here. Let's see if we can find Kevin. See if we can get a quick chat with him here anyway. Doesn't look like we have him available for the interviews just yet, but that may have been a connection issue for Kevin Smalley as we see Corey Cleary heading down to the pit lane. Gary DeMoss with some extended repair time as well. At the front of the field, Wes Shire. Fantastic pass on Jason Owens at the start of this race. Get you a look at it here on the Hot Shoe Raceware instant replay. Shire took advantage of that high lane and absolutely powered away out to the front. Here's now where the fuel sipping strategies start to really come into play here, because without the fuel maps that you have in the Indy cars, it really is based entirely on your right foot, how much fuel you're going to be able to save. The caution laps, however, help everybody. We can pretty safely assume they are all running around under caution in 6th gear. That's obviously going to consume the least amount of fuel. Also, some of the drivers will have what amounts to a starter button mapped to the steering wheel, where you can basically shut the car off and use your rolling momentum to kind of bump start the race car. So 4.5 minutes in to race number 1. Wes Shire going to lead the field back to green. He jumps on the loud pedal, and away we go one more time. He's going to have the race lead. Pretty handily here, but a good battle shaping up for 3rd, 4th, and 5th with James Curtis, James Watson, Jake Ferrari, Timothy Watson as well. James Curtis with the big smooth move of the week 1 week ago. Trying not to repeat that performance this week as he's going to duck inside of Jason Owens through 1 and 2. That 88 Surge machine looking pretty darn good there on the inside of the racetrack. One of the fun things about Lucas Oil Raceway Park, it really opens up the opportunity to run multiple grooves here. Even if the high line's the quick way around, doesn't mean it's always going to be the preferred line. Owens heads back up towards the outside safer barrier. Caution on the speedway. Once again, take a look here. May have been trouble for Mac Galida. Mac, the all-white number 5 machine. Man, it's a very similar thing to what we saw from Gary DeMoss. Just lost the back end on corner exit at turn number 2. Galida able to keep the car rolling. He's going to head pit side, but puts us back under the yellow flag. See if we can't sneak a word in here with Jason Owens. Jason, the car looks pretty good out there, but
hey, what's up, Chris?
it's a little bit of unfamiliar territory here as we see you falling back a couple of spots at the start.
Yeah, I think these guys got better setups than I do this week, and they're better drivers on this these flat short tracks. Just trying to minimize any damage in the points, be as aggressive as I can, but not take anybody out. And I think I made a last-minute adjustment on my set that took it the wrong direction. So just going to do everything I can here to minimize the bleeding.
Yeah, ride this one out for another 18 minutes or so. Got another 25 coming up here. How difficult is the car feeling to drive? So far, we've seen 2 caution flags, and both of them have been what amounts to a self-spin off turn number 2.
It's a little tougher tonight than it was in practice. I think track tip went down a couple degrees, and it maybe caught a couple guys out. My car's pushing a whole lot more, and I can't get the rotation that I had in practice coming in. So I don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck with it now.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck the rest of the way here. As we're going to be coming back to green here in about a lap or so, and seeing some of the data that the drivers have posted from the telemetry readings that they've taken during practice, you can run almost identical lap times on completely different lines through the corners here. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops. With 2 cautions, I think we're getting pretty close to where the drivers may be okay on fuel. At least a little bit less fuel sipping that's going to have to be accomplished here. We'll see how the rest of this race develops. Our buddy Ziggy checking in again. He says, I love racing IRP, but a tight car sounds miserable. It really, really does here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, because you basically have to back the car up, the corner up, I should say, so far to get the car to rotate at all. It just feels like you're going to be driving a dump truck around this place. The pace car is in, pretty rapidly approaching the halfway point here in race number 1 of the Twin Bill. Shire's going to lead him off the corner once again, jumps out to a fantastic lead. Jason Owens going to be under attack from James Watson off of turn 2. Watson follows right in the tire tracks of the 87. The tough way to run the corners here in the PM-18s, because you're going to have a little bit of downforce on the car, but you can really get a lot of wash out of the wings, and it just makes the front end plow up the racetrack. Oh, big trouble here back in the pack. Looks like trouble for Jake Guerreri. Just started to see it come into your screen here. Let's get you the Hot Shoe Raceware instant replay. See what happened to the 311 machine off of turn number 2. Man, same deal. Back end steps out. Fantastic piece of driving, though, by Jake Guerreri. I don't know that he made contact anywhere. If he did, it was light. That's the save of the race so far. Looks like Guerreri is going to enter the pit lane, so see if we can check in with our race leader here, Wes Shire, as we work under the caution flag. And Wes, that number 16 Homestead Coffee Roasters machine is maybe running on some of that Homestead coffee, because you're powered by rocket fuel or something else there.
Yeah, sure seems that way. If I'm honest, this is just a copy paste of my USF 2000 setup. So, different wings, and overall just the same thing but more grip. So
yeah, the car has been absolutely fantastic, and the yellows have to be helping a ton here in terms of fuel management as well.
No, we were good on fuel no matter what. Jason forgot to set a limit.
Well, there you go. So no fuel concerns then, making me sound like an absolute idiot up here in the booth. Thank you very much, Mr. Owens. Well, Wes, good luck the rest of the way for you here, bud.
Yeah, thanks.
That is your big smooth move of the race, by the way. Going to Jason Owens, who runs the series and sets the servers up and all. Basically giving everybody, typically there's a fuel limit that is set, which forces pit stops. That will not be the case this evening. So everybody's going to be good to go on fuel the entire way. Cross flags at the start-finish line here, coming under caution. Always nice when you get to give the guy who pays the bills the big smooth move of the race award. So it'll be, now that does change the dynamic a little bit as well, not just in terms of the lack of pit stop question, but also the fact that if you can fill the car completely with fuel, it will change the balance pretty significantly. So some of these drivers, sort of like what we saw in the sprint car race just a few minutes ago, you can really benefit from getting the rear of the car planted a little bit more by adding fuel. It's not quite as drastic of a change as it is in the sprint cars, because all that weight goes right on the rear axle, basically. Here, the fuel tank sits right behind the driver's head, for all intents and purposes. But it'll be interesting to see how that may have affected some setups here. But at the rate they're going, West Shire might be halfway to Speedway by the time this race is over here. As they come off at turn number 4, green flag will come back in the air. We're back underway once again, and Shire checks out. James Watson looks to the outside of Jason Owens down the back straightaway. Watson should be able to complete the pass here because he's got the preferred line. We'll see if he's able to bring the momentum off the corner. They drag race down in line. That one was tight. That time by, give it to James Watson as they get into turn number 1. Good run there for the number 39. Team Watson Racing Machine. Good battles fighting back in the pack here as well. Mike Barry coming to the inside of Bill Walker. Barry, oh, look at that. We call the guy out for a good run. He self-spins off turn number 4. The announcer's curse strikes Mike Barry in a pretty big way. Barry able to get the car spun back around here, and let's bring him up here and talk to him. Mike, we just put the curse of the announcer on you, talking about a good run and a good battle, and you loop it for us off at turn 4.
Yeah, I just making a move that probably wouldn't have stuck. So, bit I mean, I feel like I tend to say a bit unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna bounce back from it.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's either fighting a very tight or a very loose race car. And is it really just about kind of balancing the throttle control? Similar to what you were just doing?
I mean, right now right now I'm battling a really tight race car. I mean, so I'm just kind of trying to work around that. I mean, basically the only reason I got loose there was because I was kind of putting too much on the flat. So yeah, I think we're gonna work on it during the intermission and then see what we can do in the feature.
All right, there you go, Mike. Good luck the rest of the way, brother. Thank you very much for talking to us. So it'll be interesting to see here. The drivers will have a warm-up period, basically a chance for us to get a couple of commercials in before we grid up for feature race number 2. And I tell you what, this is going to be a ton of fun because as it stands right now, West Shire will start shotgun on the field and have to fight his way through an absolute hornet's nest. Kevin Smalley continuing his charge through the field, having to start in last after missing qualifying. He's up to the 9th position. Taking a look at your hard chargers. Number 1, the Atlas Van Line Special of Mike Gosler, up 6 spots from the drop of the green flag. James Watson actually up 5 positions, running in 3rd. Good run there for the 39 machine. Timothy Watson just a couple of spots behind him, also up 5, as is the 4 of Corey Cleary. Pretty good fights all the way around here. Little bit surprised that we haven't seen a big move here out of the 311 of Jake Guerreri. You almost wonder, is he playing the strategy game at this point? If you know you might not have a shot at the win, about the worst you can do is get to mid-pack, because that's where you're going to start race number 2. By running towards the back of the pack here in race number 1, the full field invert is going to kick in. Let's see here. We have Gary DeMoss we can chat with as well here. Gary, not the way you wanted your race to start.
How's it going, Chris?
Well,
no, not at all.
I say, but now this probably means you're going to be our pole sitter for race number 2.
Yes, sir. Gonna bring it home for the win, make up for this nonsense.
It seems like everybody is fighting a car that's not wanting to cooperate. We'll let you get ready to go back to racing here as the field's going to come into turns 3 and 4. Pace car will make the hard left-hand turn onto the pit lane. Westshire has the field up against the outside safer barrier. Green flag goes back in the air at 19 minutes. We're down to 6 minutes to go. Shire able to hold on to the race lead. Jason Owens thought about making the move inside of Watson. Going into turn number 1, Timothy Watson trying to keep up here down the back straightaway. Here's Kevin Smalley looking inside of Bill Walker off of turn number 2. This will actually be a 4-car fight between Walker, Smalley, Cullen Johnston, and Corey Cleary. Oh, trouble for Timothy Watson. Just saw the car fly through the frame. Get you the hot shoe race for instant replay. See what happened. Man, another car just caught out the tank slapper off the corner. He slides it down to the inside. No harm, no foul. Other than it does bring out another Carolina Simworks caution flag. Mike Gosler, the big beneficiary there of that spin, able to get around Simon Fell as well. That'll put him up inside the top 5 and up 7 positions from the drop of the green. The hard charger is really important here because it tells you who's got a good race car coming through traffic. Have to keep our eye on James Watson, Mike Gosler, Corey Cleary. Already past the 21-minute mark here in race number 1, and Westshire has been absolutely dominant at the front of the field. Checking out on Jason Owens on the original start of the race. And James Curtis has just had absolutely nothing to keep up with Shire. Some of that you do benefit from the single file restarts and kind of deciding when you're going to go, but Westshire's been in a class by himself tonight early on, that is for sure. I want to remind everybody, coming up tomorrow night on the High Side Hustle with Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright, one of the coolest guests we've had so far in about the 6 months or so we've had the show on the air. Co-owner of your 2021 Indianapolis 500 champion, Helio Castro Neves. Mike Shank will be joining the guys right at the top of the show at the 8 p.m. hour. That one's going to be a ton of fun. Mike picking up a very large check this evening at the Indianapolis 500 Victory Awards celebration. I mean, absolutely dream come true stuff for a guy like Mike Shank, someone who lives and breathes the Indianapolis 500, getting his first win as a car owner. Something tells me the Busch Lights will be flowing tomorrow night. He's chatting it up with the guys. Ziggy, to answer your question, I don't think that show has been sober yet. So we'll let you enjoy that one tomorrow night. Green flag goes back in the air, 23 minutes, 50 seconds. If we get another yellow, this one will be over, but it may be over anyway as Wes Shire is once again long gone down the back straightaway. James Watson trying to set up the move where he's going to try to come around James Curtis. Jason Owens able to hold on to the spot. The problem if you're Watson is you really got to make the move quick here just in case we do see another caution flag. As we're at 24 minutes and 20 seconds, lap time's at about the 20-second range or so. Looks like we will get the one to go next time by. It'll be 2 laps to go here in race number 1 for Carolina Simworks TNT PM-18 All-Oval Series. Wes Shire up to about 0.4 of a second over James Curtis. James Watson holding on to the 3rd position. Jason Owens, Mike Gosler, your top 5. White flag is out, 1 lap to go here in race number 1. Trouble on the racetrack for Bill Walker. We stay under green. Curtis may have found something late here, but it may not matter. Off at turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. Wes Shire gets the win in race number 1 over James Curtis, James Watson, Jason Owens, and Mike Gosler. There's Walker absolutely wadded up down the back straightaway. Field will now get basically what amounts to a warm-up period. Everybody will come in, hit their marks, and let's show you the results here for race number 1. Wes Shire getting the win by 0.3 of a second over James Curtis, James Watson, Jason Owens, Mike Gosler. Top 5, as we mentioned. 6 through 10, Simon Fell, Kevin Smalley, Cullen Johnston, Corey Cleary, and Jake Querreri. Timothy Watson in 11th, Rick Cleary in 12th, 13th to Bill Walker, Mac Delida 14th, Mike Barry in 15th, and Gary DeMoss in the 16th position. Full field invert coming up here when we come back to racing. But first, let's get the commercial break out of the way. You are watching the TNT PM-18 All-Oval Series right here on the National Racing Network.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. This Independence Day weekend, kick your party off with a bang. DeWeather Center presents the first annual DeWeather Cares Charity Softball Classic presented by the National Racing Network. The Palmerton Boobies, DeWeather Center Bluecocks, Blue Mountain I-95ers, Pocono Front Platers, Schuylkill County Crackers, Reading Nurses, Catasauqua Blue Tits, and Beltsville Lake Monsters will take the field in Emerald. Find out more on Facebook at DeWeather Center. DeWeather Center, offensively accurate.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
All right, everybody, welcome back here to Lucas Oil Raceway. Let's get you the starting grid. We'll show it to you here on the screen. And while we interview feature race 1 winner, Wes Shire. And Wes, congratulations on the win in race number 1. Are you going to be able to come through the field here in race number 2?
If it goes green, absolutely. I never even got my tires up to temperature. That race, I still had 2 to 3 more tenths in the car.
Wow, that's a
it's just going to be...
That's impressive. We're looking forward to the show here. So congratulations on winning race number 1. As always, who would you like to thank?
As usual, got to thank Homestead Coffee for keeping me awake and alert. And apparently they were in my car tonight because, man, this car is fast. Now we just got to get the green flag to do it. I got to thank Chris for putting this all on. Jason for putting this all on. You, Chris, for doing the broadcast, and Carolina SimWorks for sponsoring the whole deal.
There you go. There's Wes Shire getting ready to come around to start race number 2. So we will interview our 2nd and 3rd place finishers, James Curtis and James Watson, as the race goes on here. But it's time to go racing. 25 more minutes the distance. Huge early start for Gary DeMoss. Mike Barry going to fight back to the outside of turn number 1. Big power move to the outside. Mike Barry going to be your race leader off at turn 2. Sliding back through the field just a little bit here. Top 2 are checking out. Bill Walker, Timothy Watson, Corey Cleary will have this fight going on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We will update you on the cars coming from the back of the pack every couple of laps or so. Wes Shire up 2 spots around James Curtis and Jason Owens. James Watson's already gained 3 spots. He's up to 11. Charging in a pretty big way here as this fight continues between Walker and Watson off 2. Everybody towards the front of the field here has had issues in race number 1. Keep your eye, though, on Jake Guerreri, Mike Barry. These cars had incidents earlier in the race. That's basically what put them at the back of the pack. Rick Cleary, Kevin Smalley, James Watson, Cullen Johnson going to be fighting for position down the back straightaway here. Here's Watson making the big move to the inside down the front straightaway. Seeing one car getting up into the outside retaining wall. We stay under green. Oh, one hard into the inside wall. That's Corey Cleary. Again, we're going to stay green. He was off the racing surface. No caution flag will fly. Mike Barry just set the quickest lap of the race, 19.91 seconds. The car is absolutely flying at the front of the field. Watson looking inside, looking outside, trying to find a way to get around Kevin Smalley. Gets the good drive off the corner. He'll have the preferred line through 1 and 2. Great run by James Watson up to the 7th position. Wes Shire still stuck back there in 13th. Colin Johnston now looking to the outside of Smalley as they come down the front straightaway. 2.5 minutes in to race number 2. Johnston once again bounces it off the outside retaining wall. He's got an absolute handful, and Mike Gosler's got a great view of the whole show. Go on board with Mike Gosler down the back straightaway. Oh, there's Wes Shire just poking into view. How about 3 wide? Through the corner. What a move by Wes Shire. caution flag is out on the speedway. Don't see who the issue was for here. May have been Mac Galida. Well, maybe not. We don't see anybody that crashed. There was definitely a spin on the racetrack, but caution flag number 1 will fly. Get your Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay up here at the front. Oh, it was Mike Barry, the race leader, with what amounts to a self-spin off of turn number 2. Exactly what he did in race number 1. Drops the hammer. Barry does not lose anything except for about 100 yards of track distance and the race lead. Need our buddy Patrick Bird checking into the comments here. Yes, Mike is absolutely flying here. Maybe a little bit too much, as Gary DeMoss claims the race lead. Let's get a word in here with our... let's see. I don't see... Here's James Curtis. James Curtis, you had a great run there in race number 1. Congratulations on the podium. Looks like it's a little bit of a struggle coming forward here in race 2, though.
Oh, this track is so hard to pass on. Really just trying to push through, but there's not a lot of room. Everybody's getting backed up, but we'll see what happens on the restart. It might spread us out a little bit, and see if I can't get a run on Mike up here.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on the podium here in race number 1 as well.
I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be talking to you after the end of this race, too.
There you go. There's James Curtis. Let's slide further forward in the field here. Pick up Mr. James Watson. James, an incredible drive in race number 1, and you're putting on a show again here in race 2.
Yeah, this setup, man, it works ridiculously well. Guess where I got it?
I'm assuming from West Shire. Oh, from me? Ah!
No. Yeah, you shared it from last season's IRP race, and I used it again, and it's working just as well as it did that night. It's awesome.
I tell you what, a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, I guess. But congratulations on the podium there in race number 1, and keep putting on the show here in race 2.
Oh yeah, hope to go back to back. Let's go.
There you go. There's James Watson. So we've talked to our top 3 here. Let's, yeah, that one's been, this race has been fun here. Mike Barry with one of the best saves you will ever see on the iRacing platform. Show it to you one more time here. Leading the race, the back end steps out. 360, grabs the gear. Let's go. We're not losing much. What a save by Mike Barry. We're getting ready to come back to racing here, though, and Gary DeMoss will lead the field to green. He's going to leave the high line exposed just a little bit. It won't make a difference. He's going to check out. DeMoss holds the lead into turn number 1. Everybody holding serve here. Pretty well single file through the top 10 or so. Got to look way back in the pack to find Jason Owens battling Mike Gosler through 1 and 2. But this is the fight for 13th position. We've got a fight for the race lead going on here. Barry looks to the inside of DeMoss through 3 and 4. Put Mike Barry back in the front of the field. And how about Bill Walker holding on here? But this fight is allowing the rest of the field to catch back up on the race leaders. James Watson running the outside line as DeMoss almost got it into the outside safety barrier. Walker looks to the inside of DeMoss into 1 and 2. Oh, they're almost making contact. You can't go 3 wide off the corner here. What a way to get filed in. How about James Watson way to the inside on the apron? 5 cars under a blanket, and they're doing it for second. In the meantime, Mike Barry's only out to about a 1-second lead. Hyper-aggressive move by James Watson down to the apron, and it's going to pay off for him. Bringing Jake Guerreri with him. Wes Shire getting up in this fight as well. Shire back in the 8th position, but he's only about 5 car lengths out of the top 3. DeMoss gets it up into the outside retaining wall. That's going to slow him down. Contact down the front straightaway. Timothy Watson going to be involved. Jake Guerreri involved as well. Guerreri goes for a wild ride down the front straightaway. Just started to see that develop. Into the Hot Shoe Race War instant replay. That looked like it may have been a bit of net code and the ultra rare blowover for Jake Guerreri. Holy cow. We got to show you that one from the roll bar camera. And that's all she wrote. Jake Guerreri slides to a stop in turn number 1, and there he is now parked in the pit area along with the 28 of Timothy Watson, both of those cars having made the contact. And I'll tell you what, this is probably not what Mike Barry wanted to see. He had to be enjoying that fight going on just back behind him. Let's talk to James Watson here one more time. James, how total gut sack was that of a move to go all the way down to the apron to try to pass a handful of cars?
You know, you may think that the side pods of this car hold the radiators for air. No, that's where I keep my monad.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And yeah, I needed every bit of it for that move. I'm just, thank God that worked out, because I thought for sure I had screwed myself and was going to get freight trained, but somehow it all worked out, and oh boy.
I was going to say, now you're set up here for a big run towards the last half of this race as well, so keep it going, brother. We're enjoying the show for sure.
Thanks.
James Watson, absolutely epic. Let's see if we can't talk to Mike Barry here at the front. Mike, you made one of the best saves we've ever seen on iRacing, and now you're back to the front here. Tires okay and everything else after the little loop-de-loop off of turn 2?
Yeah, thankfully it's not too bad right now. I'm just looking at my relative right now. I was just talking to James there. I'm just like, have mercy on my soul, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold him off here, but we're going to try our best.
Yeah, there's a few cars that have made a pretty big charge here. Wes Shire is coming as well, but how does that play into your thought process here as we're down to about the halfway point here in race 2? Not much more time that you have to hold them off.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, we just hit the halfway point in time, so we're basically even here. I mean, I'm just gonna try my best. I'm pretty happy. I don't usually do that great in this series. Most of the time I'm wrecked out by now. So if a top 5, I'd be happy with, but the win would be even better.
All right, Mike. Well, good luck the rest of the way here, bud. We'll see. Does James Watson, Wes Shire have anything for Mike Barry and Bill Walker at the front of the field here? Everybody up against the outside safer barrier through turns 3 and 4. No leaving any room to the outside to get the pass made on the restart. Barry brings him down. Green flag goes back in the air. Watson's going to look inside of Walker. That pass may have been timed perfectly. Didn't get around him at the start-finish line. We'll see if he can clear him off of 2. Walker just about gets it into the outside retaining wall. Watson continues to fight back to the inside. Move James Watson up to position number 2. Fantastic run there. We're going to slide back, pick up Wes Shire here as he looks inside of Cullen Johnston. He's going to go 2 for 1 and 1 and 2, coming around Rick Cleary as well. That drag race continues down the front straightaway. So far, Mike Barry able to hold off James Watson. Jason Owens, Kevin Smalley get a battle back in the pack. We're used to seeing Owens, Watson, and James Curtis fighting for race wins here. This the fight for the 9th position. We got to move up to the front of the field here because a gap that was in the tenths of a second is now being measured in car lengths. So we see an issue for Jake Correri on the racetrack. Does not bring out a caution flag. Barry and Watson now really starting to check out on Bill Walker. Watson just set the quickest lap of the race, 19.8 seconds. Oh, Barry gets it up into the outside retaining wall. Doesn't lose a ton of ground. Slide back in the pack here as we've got the Hornet's Nest brewing once again. Cullen Johnston, Simon Fell going to fight off turn number 2. Johnson almost got up into the side of Simon as they came down the backstretch. Fell gets it up into the outside retaining wall. Jason Owens right behind him. Cullen Johnston, Kevin Smalley, Jason Owens, James Curtis, all right there. Wes Shire going to make a look on Bill Walker as they get into turn number 3. $16 minutes, 15 seconds go up on the scoreboard. We are past the halfway point, and Wes Shire has completed the run to the podium. Now he's going to have to start hot lapping in a pretty big way if he wants to catch Mike Barry and James Watson. Looking at that battle for the race lead once again, Mike Barry just scraping the outside safer barrier. Watson actually losing a little bit of ground that time, makes it up through 3 and 4. They say getting to the leader is one thing. Getting past him is something entirely different. Mike Barry with full clean air. You almost wondered if James Watson use up a little bit too much tire. Trying to get up to the front. We talk about needing to hot lap. Here's Wes Shire. Just set the fastest lap of the race, 19.71 seconds. Backs it up the last time by 19.73. He is faster than the leaders. And going to be catching in a pretty big hurry. Sliding back in the pack here, Gary DeMoss. Just ahead of Rick Cleary, Simon Fell, Jason Owens. Shire goes quicker again, 1969. Jason Owens going to come around the outside of Rick Cleary into 1 and 2. Gutsy move there on corner entry. Goes 2 for 1. James Curtis had absolutely nowhere to go to try to follow Owens through on the line. Shire goes even quicker, 19:59. And Shire doesn't have a lap count to worry about. He is fighting entirely the clock at this point. Let's slide up to the front here, show you the fight. There's your 2 race leaders, and there's Wes Shire just coming off of turn 2 as the leaders enter turn number 3. Mike Barry running the old Target Chip Ganassi racing colors, the Lightning Bolts, made famous by Jimmy Vasser and Alex Zanardi. Very Jimmy Vasser-like performance here tonight. Get out front, do what you need to do, at least in race number 2 here anyway. Hold on to the race lead, and James Watson really doesn't have much. Oh, but caution flag is out on the racetrack. Trouble for Cullen Johnston. Get to the Hot Shoe Race for instant replay. See what happened to the 93 machine. Oh, he got hard up into the outside retaining wall. Lands it on all fours. Russian judge scores it a 7. Let's see here. Check in with Wes Shire here. Patrick Byrne in the comments says, give me a caution is what you're thinking. Are you absolutely licking your chops now there, Wes?
Yeah, I needed this caution about 8 laps ago. As far as I know, we don't have green-white checkers. I mean, if we do, great. I'm going for it. But, man, I could have used this a while ago.
Yeah, that's one of those where we kind of made mention of catching the leader is one thing, passing them is something completely different. It seems like
slowly reeling them in, but not fast enough.
That's it. But you have set some absolutely epic laps, hot lapping around this place, trying to catch up. So, good luck the rest of the way here, Wes. This race is definitely going to be a good one now. Absolutely, there, Patrick. Mike Barry, James Watson, Wes Shire will be your top 3 on the restart. Bill Walker, and where did Jason Owens come from? He's up 8 spots into 5th. Saw him make the 3 wide move. That was pretty aggressive. Gary DeMoss, Rick Cleary, James Curtis, Simon Feld, Mike Gosler, the top 10. Kevin Smalley, Cullen Johnston, the final cars that are on the lead lap. Corey Cleary, a couple of laps down in 13th. Mac Galida, 4 laps down in the 14th position. Jake Ferrari, another further lap behind. 15 of the 16 cars still on the racetrack. Taking a look here, we may see a checkered flag this time by. Yes, we do. Wow, that's a little early based on the clock that we're seeing, but Mike Barry picks up the win in feature race number 2. James Watson going to come home 2nd, Wes Shire 3rd. Bill Walker, Jason Owens will complete tonight's running order. Excuse me, tonight's top 5, I should say. Yes, dueling donuts on the front straightaway here for Mike Barry and Wes Shire, both drivers picking up victories here this evening. Mike Barry going to do the Polish victory lap. Absolutely freaking out the iRacing camera system here. So not sure what the issue was there with the clock in the corner here, but yeah, Mike Barry picks up the win. See, we can't check in here, Mike. A fantastic run all night long here. After the early spin, full Danny Sullivan spin and win here tonight at Lucas Oil Raceway Park.
I don't know what to say, man. Just a good comeback, I guess, for me. And it's not like I got it easy there. I mean, James was giving me a real hard time going into there, and I think if he had a couple more laps, he would have gotten me. But thankfully the caution might have came out just at the right time for me. So just a great race off overall.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, is what they say here. And let's get the instant replay up so everybody gets a good look at the Target Chip Ganassi colors on the number 64 for you there. All in all, really not a bad night tonight. Limiting the damage from the earlier issue in race 1. You're going to come out with a decent points night here as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'm in the contention for the championship here, but the win always feels good. So, we're gonna. I don't even know where I'm sitting in the points. We had a bit of a downward trending season, so to look back up and. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe aim for a top 10 in points.
There you go. Well, Mike, congratulations on the win here tonight in race number 2. Who would you like to thank?
I guess I want to thank, as always, the family. Let's thank Ellen Motorsports. We're going to be on the modified tour. And then, I guess thanks for you for putting this on. Thanks to Jason for, putting this all together. We absolutely couldn't do without him. And actually, also thanks to you for the. I'm actually working off a modified version of your setup, so I guess I should thank you.
That's what James Watson said. Blind squirrel finds a nut, because I am not very good in these cars. But congratulations on the win once again tonight.
Yeah, I mean. All right. Thank you very much, Chris.
Yep, there you go. So there's Mike Barry, your winner here in race number 2. Let's see if we can pick up our runner-up here this evening. James Watson, ultimately it was, I don't know, a day late, $1 short, maybe a caution late and $1 short, but fantastic run tonight to gain 12 spots and a couple of podiums tonight for you is a huge points night.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything for Mike. The clean air was just too strong. I was trying some things and they were getting me closer, but even if that caution doesn't come out, I don't think I get him. I'm happy for Mike, but oh man, I wanted that win. I wanted TNT win so bad.
Well, if you keep putting performances like this up, they're going to be coming for sure. So congratulations on a pair of podiums tonight. Who would you like to thank?
Always got to thank ZAS Designs for making my paint schemes for me. Always got to thank you for supporting me and inadvertently giving me a set to allow me to show the heck off tonight. Thank my folks as always.
That's fantastic. Well, James, congratulations on the couple of podiums tonight. Make sure everybody checks out the Pizza at the Pagoda podcast, available on your favorite podcasting platform. James gave us an in-depth review of his first Indianapolis 500 as well this week's show, so check him out there. That's James Watson, your runner-up in race number 2, and we talked to Wes Shire here a couple of times tonight, and ultimately it was just a tick short. I have no idea what was going on with the clock there, because when the flag went checkered, I saw 3 minutes left.
We actually went to lap distance rather than time distance.
Well, there you go. That's going to answer that one then. So I guess a second one twice. Jason wins the big smooth move of the race here. All in all, though, all kidding aside, a fantastic show that you put on tonight, along with James, for that matter. That had to be pretty fun slicing through the field in race 2.
Oh man, that was some really, really good racing. That was like an 8 or 10 lap battle I had with Bill Walker. That was a ton of fun. And dodging that huge wreck at the end of lap 21, it's just like we're sitting back there, Colin and I. We're just like, all right, something's gonna happen, and it ain't gonna be pretty. So I was just kind of holding the low line, hoping that it would happen in a turn, and it would all end up at the top of the track. And lo and behold, it ended up out of the turn and went to the bottom of the track. So that was exciting, having a car barrel roll over top of me.
Yeah, little pucker factor Zulu going on, that's for sure.
Yeah, a little bit. But overall, a lot of fun charging from the back of the field.
Well, you get a win and a third place finish tonight. That's going to absolutely crush some things in the points. So congratulations on that. I think you're the overall winner for the evening. So congratulations. Who do you want to thank?
As usual, got to thank Homestead Coffee for keeping me awake enough to drive this thing. It was on edge all night, but that's how you got to be fast around here. And like I said earlier, got to thank you for the broadcast, Jason for putting it on, and Carolina SimWorks for paying all the bills.
There you go. There is Wes Shire. And let's see if we can't sneak a word in here with Jason Owens real quick, because Jason, I believe you have pulled off a first here in the TNT series, managing to win the big smooth move of the race twice in your own event here.
What did I, other than almost putting Mike in the wall, what did I do to do the second big smooth move of the race?
No, actually, the first one was for not setting the fuel limit, so everybody had plenty of fuel to make both ends of the doubleheader. And then the second one was neglecting to tell the broadcast partner that we were running to lap distance in your second feature and not time.
Well, we were supposed to go to lap distance in both of them, but we had so many cautions in the first one that it didn't work out.
Oh, okay. So well, there you go. See, I'm out here going, okay, 25 minutes, cool, and then 23 minutes, the checkered flag flies. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Well, there you go. So yes,
I hope you got 3 and 4 wide nonsense that was happening back in the back in that second race.
Yes, there was a ton of that made the broadcast tonight. All in all, I truly believe the twin races with inverted grids for race number 2 is the way to go here, because you guys put on an absolutely fantastic show from top to bottom.
Well, thanks. We just added it to 3 weeks for this season to see how it would go. I could see bringing it in for a few more races next season, and TNT season 3, I could see alternating 25 and 50-minute events and have 6 of each all the way through the field, or all the way through the season with how this has gone. Next week we're at Phoenix, and really this next 4 race stretch is going to be fantastic. We've got 4 50-minute races in a row at Free Phoenix, Richmond, Nashville Fairgrounds with a throwback race, throwback liveries, and then Bristol heading into All-Star break. Bristol, then Iowa heading into Bristol Dirt for the All-Star Dirt Showcase.
Yes, that is going to be an absolute train wreck disaster, and we can't wait to be a part of it. So thank you very much. Congratulations on your big smooth move of the race award, and we're looking forward to talking to you again next week.
Right on, Chris. See you in a week.
There you go. There's Jason Owens, your big smooth move of the race award recipient. One more time, let's get you the feature results here as we go back to the live look. Mike Barry picking up the win under caution over James Watson, Wes Shire. Good run for Bill Walker, holding on to that 4th position he started with. Bill's one of the guys that when you get him up towards the front, he's absolutely able to show you what he's made of, and a heck of a run tonight for Bill Walker. Jason Owens comes home 5th, Gary DeMoss 6th, Rick Cleary 7th, James Curtis, Simon Fell, and Mike Gossler round out your top 10. Kevin Smalley, Cullen Johnston, Corey Cleary, Matt Galida, Jake Ferrari, and Timothy Watson will complete the field. But that'll wrap up another night of broadcasting here on the National Racing Network. Don't want to miss it. Coming up tomorrow night on the High Side Hustle, the one and only Mike Shank. We will have the Busch Lattes flowing for that gentleman for sure. Co-owner along with Jim Meyer of the 06 of Elio Castroneves, your race winner for the 105th Indianapolis 500. We are so psyched to get to talk to Mike Shank tomorrow night. Coming up on Thursday, it's a doubleheader. The Ezra IndyCar Series kicks things off at 8 o'clock, and then we round out the series for Season 2 of 2021 for the Indy Pro 2000 official series. Coming up on Friday night, it'll be live racing from the Lindis Speedway. And on Saturday, the Dallara Extreme Series returns to the National Racing Network as well. But until tomorrow night and the High Side Hustle, for everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.